Alright guys, we're part two. What I want to continue on with is, as you see here, this is the second Tom Wisniewski's board that I use. This is the one that I use to control the brain lights up in the bubble. And I have a connector here. This connector basically routes power from my main power board to the connector, which I then plug in, which control the three motors that you see up in the bubble. The two ear motors and the main spinner come through here. I plug my brain lights into here, and that's the connections that come from the top down to the command center. That's all I require. If I turn it around here, what you see here is another compact flash card reader. It looks a little different than the one you saw on the side. This one has digital inputs. This one has 8, 16, 24 digital inputs. Each input is corresponding to an input number on the compact flash card that I assign. I can assign a different sound, up to 24 different sounds, on the compact flash card reader that would be associated with an input 1 through 24. As long as I give it a momentary ground input or a momentary open input on the card here, that will trigger the sounds, whichever one you decide to pick. So what I've used is a little relay board that I found off of eBay. It's a little RC control relay board that all I do is route a ground to these control signals, and these control signals I'm using control signals 1 to 8. By using my little control, I have a lot of the sounds that you hear from my B9 robot, from Danger Will Robinson to any of the sounds that you hear. I have it loaded on my compact flash card, and by triggering a certain input, that's how I get the sound corresponding to the sound I have on the compact flash. This guy has a 14-watt amp on it, built on already. It has a lot of great features. All it requires is simple power input. You can't make a mistake. Either way you put the plus and minus 12 volts in, it has built-in protection for that, so it's a nice easy setup. Then it has speaker outputs. I run these speakers to the controller board that hooks up for the main neon. This is the one I use for the neon. The one on the side is really for the mechanical boot up clack sound that you hear, but nonetheless I have two independent sound cards. The other board I have down here is a battery monitor. This will monitor the battery levels of all the batteries in the tread section, and it will give me an audible alarm if by any chance my batteries are running low. It lets me know, so I can plug in my charger for either 24 volts or 12 volts. And here's the other side. All it really shows is these are the two connectors that will get plugged into the top of my donut that I show, that passes the signals from my system here down to the soil sampler, to the torso, brings all the power required up to the main power system. So that's all I use to connect this center uptown for my B9 robot. This ends part two. I'll have part three, which will discuss the little Scorpion motor controller. Thank you.